What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the first Year 11 Smite patch notes update review. A long-winded way to say that. But yeah, here we are. At the beginning of each season, there tends to be some type of new mechanics, new map updates, new god updates, item updates, other shit like that. So there's gonna be a lot, and I'm assuming a lot because this bitch is 27 pages. You probably can't see it because I'm editing it out, but it's 27 pages over here. Right over here, you can't see it, but there's a lot of shit. So this is going to be a pretty long video, but as you can tell, I'm a little sick, so bear with me as I'm going to try to cut out my sneezing, my sniffling, and my coughing as best as I can so you guys don't hear it. You can just hear my very sick voice instead, so hopefully that isn't too bad for you. But yeah, year 11 is here. This is probably be one of the last years that Smite 1 is going to be the dominant game, as if you don't know, which if you're living under a rock, maybe you don't know, but Smite 2 has just been announced at Worlds. And there were a lot of, there was a lot of, not controversy, but for lack of a better word, controversy over Smite 2 in terms of whether or not it's a real thing, whether or not it's fake, you know. It's been only the past few months where it's been a talk because of the data mines, leaks, information that we've been seeing recently that showcased that Smite 2 could be a thing, but now it absolutely is. We assumed it was going to be announced at Worlds if it is a thing, and it so happens to be. So I'm going to be showing the video. If you haven't already seen it, I suggest you watch it. But there'll be a little video right here without the sound. And then I'll post a video down below if you haven't seen it. I'm assuming everyone has seen it at this point, but yeah, Smite 2 is a thing. One of the big issues that Smite 1 had was that it was on Unreal Engine 3, which came out, I don't know, late 2000s, and we're in 2024. And so Smite 2 is now on running on Unreal Engine 5, so it's skipping 2 generations, which is very good for the game. As you can see, there are a lot of in-depth like abilities, new mechanics to gods. Like Ymir has a wall now that can knocks people up, if you see in that video. But even like the damage counter, like you do damage and it just looks so much more crisp. Everything looks so fluid, and how the game, I feel like the potential of this game should have been, but because of the lack of whatever the fuck it was, either money, effort, I don't really think it's effort, but money, you know, the staffing, maybe, I don't know, but we're getting it now. Better late than never, in my opinion. And I think that this year is going to be one of the last years that Smite 1, which we can now call it because Smite 2 is a thing, is going to be the dominant game. And I think once the game is available, not like alpha or beta, but like actually fully released, I think that that game's going to take over, and hopefully that will be the new game. Now, it's a little scary, especially for those content creators that rely heavily on their career for Smite, as splitting up the player base on a game that is not really a dead game. Smite is far from a dead game, but it's a very consistent player base where not a lot of growth, but also not a lot of decline either. Obviously, it has ebbs and flows and stuff like that, but generally speaking, there is a consistent number of people that play this game, and they rely on that consistency. So if they split up the player base between Smite and Smite 2, that could cause some problems potentially. I don't think it's going to. I think Smite 2 will eventually just be a better game, and will take over. But it's always scary because, if you guys don't know, they're keeping Smite 1 up for the foreseeable future, indefinitely, until I guess they figure out what they want to do with it. But they're going to be updating it all this year. So year 11 for 2024, you don't have to worry about anything. You'll be able to play Smite for the entire year, and you should be good. Now, Smite 2 will release its pre-alpha, like it's like before even alpha is in April, or I'm sorry, spring. So right around April time is probably when it's going to have its release. You can sign up for it on their website. I think it's like smite2.com, and you can sign up for a code to get it. But you know, there's a lot of new things happening to that game, like, you know, just going over basic shit. Smite 2 now has where every single item can be built by every single god. That's one thing. Another thing is that physical and magical power, and I'm guessing protections as well. I'm not entirely sure on protections yet. They're going to be replaced by intelligence and strength. So I believe strength is going to be physical, and I think magical is going to be intelligence. Now I might be getting a little mixed up here, not fully 100% on everything, but this is generally what I picked up. There's not going to be any more scaling for gods anymore. It's going to be based on abilities. So you're going to have, each ability is going to have scaling based on either strength or maybe, but I think it's going to be intelligence. So like certain abilities, like they said that Chalk 3 is going to have, is going to be based off, because Chalk 3 is healing, by the way, if you don't know. And it's going to be based on intelligence, they said. So I think the healing that you're going to be getting from Chalk 3, for example, is going to be based on your intelligence. It'll scale off of how much intelligence you get from each item, which again, correlates to magical power and scaling. And then some abilities other than, some other abilities are going to be based off of strength scaling. So that's going to be interesting as well. I'm not entirely sure. I want them to fully elucidate on what the fuck that means, because I don't actually know. Me and Hefe were talking about this. We're talking about, the difference between like why would some abilities be based off intelligence and some be off of strength? I don't really understand that. So we're missing a couple puzzle pieces to that to fully understand. Maybe like CC and healing are based off intelligence. So like maybe intelligence, the more intelligence you have, will make it to where your CC is longer for certain gods, which would be really good on your guardians and some warriors. But we don't actually know. That's just speculation. But we do know that they're going to be changing that. And they're also going to be changing the role queue for ranked. So very similar to, I think, now this is just me, this is speculation, this is not 100% anything, but I think they're going to be changing the queues because they are changing the rank system, which definitely needs an update from Smite 1. It's just a very flawed system when you compare it to other MOBAs like League. But similar to League, I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to make each individual role, you're going to be able to queue based on that. So in League, I believe what you can do is you can queue on each role. So you got your, it's called top lane for League, but your top lane, mid, jungle, support, and then your carry or ADC. You can queue into each role, and you can have your own MMR based on that specific queue. So you could technically, I believe this is how it works, don't quote me, but I think it's to where if you queue into top lane on League, you can have your own set of MMR. So you can be 3,500 MMR, for example, on your top lane, but you can also be 1,500 MMR on jungle if you never queue jungle, for example. So I think that's what they're probably going to do, and I think that's probably a better direction. But they're changing that. And then the last thing that I specifically remember is that items are going to have their own effects. So items are going to have, I don't remember what it was. They're getting rid of relics. So they're getting rid of relics. You're going to have your beads. Every single god is going to have beads. And I think that's a great change for Smite because there's so much CC in the game. I was going to do a video on, is there too much CC in Smite? That's going to be a video that I was going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do it now, but every single god has some sort of CC. Even hunters have CC and mages have CC. So it's like weird that traditionally your guardians and your warriors should have the ones that those are the ones that should have majority of your CC because you're setting up, healing, and stuff like that. But every single god has some type of CC. So it's kind of crazy how much it is. So having beads on every single god is super good. And you're going to have your own little ward with you as well to help people fucking place down wards because nobody does that. But yeah, so like I said, they're getting rid of relics and they're going to make it to where each item has their own effect to where I think you can build, from what I saw, you could probably build Blink on one of your items. So if you bought like Xe, for example, I think you can upgrade it into a relic and you can have or maybe something else. Maybe it's not a relic, maybe it's something else that has like some type of activation effect, very similar to League has this too. Items have their own effects and you can press a button and cast it and it'll do something on the battlefield. So that's also going to be another thing that they're going to be doing as well. One of the main things I think that Smite 2 is going to prioritize on is Conquest and Arena. Other game modes like Joust, Slash, and Mode of the Day and Assault, I don't think those are going to be there at the beginning unfortunately. So that's going to be a little rough in my opinion, because although I can make a lot of content on Smite 2, I mean, my channel is based off of Joust, and not only is it based off of Joust, I just love Joust. It's just like I just love the game mode. That's the most, that game mode I know almost everything about. It's like I can help people. I can showcase, you know, certain things that change up the meta, and you know, stuff like that. Conquest I know a lot about too. I'm just not like into it as much. I love Conquest, don't get me wrong, but Joust is my game mode. So if they're not gonna have Joust in Smite 2, I'm gonna be making content on Smite 2, but at the same time I'm gonna still be making content on Joust if, you know, there's enough players. So we'll see about that. But yeah, that's basically it for Smite 2 from what I have understood from a lot of the things that they showcased on it. There's a video for that too, you can find on their YouTube. But that kind of segues into what so the future of this channel is going to be dictated on what's happening on Smite 2. What's happening with Smite 2. So with Smite 2, I'm assuming that Hi-Rez is going to try to flock everyone from Smite over to Smite 2, but not all at once, where like they throw out the game. They want to make it to where it's like a gradual shift to where, like, you know, they're trying to get people over to Smite 2, but you can still play Smite if you want, but we really want you to go to Smite 2 because that's when, you know, that's going to be their new baby. And so I think that's sort of how I'm going to view the rest of my channel. I'm going to be making videos of Smite 2, absolutely, whether it's gameplay or, you know, overviews of Smite 2. I do have a couple video ideas for that, but I'm going to be making videos on Smite Joust for the rest of the year, any type of new things, as I think there is a small little change to Joust that I'm very interested about. That'll be coming soon. But yeah, around April, I'm going to be making videos on Smite 2. I'm going to still be making videos on Smite. And then we'll just see like what's happening with the game, and then from there we'll make decisions on that. But from now, I'm going to be making Smite videos, and I'm going to be making Smite 2 videos, you know, sprinkling in a couple Smite 2 videos here and there whenever I get the chance. Until eventually we go over to Smite 2, which I think is going to be an eventual process. Once they get every single god in, which won't be, they're going to try to do 50 gods for Smite 2, I believe, of which 45 will be gods that we already have, and then the other 5 will be gods that aren't in Smite yet, Smite 1, and there'll be new gods into Smite 2, and that'll also, you know, help people go over there and try out that shit too. So that is Smite 2 and the future of my channel, a small update, recap for everything. So again, they have a YouTube video for it in the description, or I'll have a video in my description, so you can go to their channel to look at the video to see like for yourself. Maybe you pick up on things I didn't pick up on, and then yeah, so I'll have that in the description if you want to see that for yourself. But enough of that, let's get into Smite 1. Such a fucking weird thing to say. So we have year 11. I did see a couple things that they were going to be talking about. Now we're on, as you can see, we're on a PDF here because they don't have the site working right now, and I do want to make this video while I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to look at everything. Like, I was looking at Discord, and Hefe said something, and I'm like, God damn, boy, something's happening. So like, there's a bunch of shit happening here. So I'm ready, and I think that I'd rather not wait for them to update their fucking website, even though or because their website is so dog shit. It's like here and there, like sometimes they'll have it up and sometimes they won't, but yeah. So here it is. It's year 11.1, which should be going live in a week or two, I believe, because I think the split ends in 7 days, which means that I think we're gonna get like hard reset on ranked. Everything's going back to normal, or going back to the start. So I'm ready. But here we go, year 11. Let's get into this. So Battle Pass, Cross Gen Pass. Oh yeah, they did talk about this too in Gen 2 or Smite 2. They're gonna be doing a system. I can't remember exactly the fine details about it, but basically, any gem that you've had in Smite 1 will be transferred over to any gem purchase that you've had. In-game gem purchase, I believe. I don't think it's you buy gems, but I think you get to spend the gems in the game. Will transfer over to Smite 2. Now the skins, like they said, are not gonna transfer over because they said it's gonna take like 250 years. That's what they said, to transfer every single skin to every single account that bought a skin or whatever. So instead, they're making it to where they're gonna transfer any type of gem that you spent, and they're gonna put it into Smite 2 in their own little gem system, to where you have access to a bunch of your gems. You can buy shit. You can get tier 4, tier 5 skins over on Smite 2. Now, that's cool and all, but when you don't have a lot of content on there when you first release it, because you're only releasing it with 45 gods, you know, it's, and keep in mind there's 130 gods, 135 once they add the 5 gods that they're planning on adding. But when you don't have a lot of content to take from, maybe they will have more, I don't know yet, because they've only showcased like maybe 8 to 10 skins that I've seen, and maybe a little bit more. Maybe I'm misquoting or misremembering, but there isn't a lot of content for the gems for you to use over in Smite 2 as of right now. So it's a little, I don't know, there's not a lot of content there, so it's a little weird. But I mean, you'll have gems over however many years you've been playing where you've spent gems, so you will be able to transfer some of your progress from Smite 1 to Smite 2 in like a weird, like circumvented way, I suppose. But they're doing cross-gen pass. You'll be able to get a battle pass in Smite 1, and you'll be able to work towards getting skins, unlocking skins for Smite 1, and then that'll transfer over to Smite 2, and then you'll have those skins for Smite 2, which is pretty cool. And some of these skins that they did, the most popular skins that they have, they're gonna be keeping. So like, I think there was a Don Zabura skin that was like a really popular skin that is in Smite 1 that they did a reskin for in Smite 2, which is the same skin but just in Unreal Engine 5 quality. But yeah, so they're doing that. Very similar to Smite 1, you're gonna have to buy a founders pack, I think, to where you can have access to all the gods. So you're probably gonna have to spend another $15 at the very least, or maybe more, I don't know. But you're gonna have to spend money to get those gods, which is kind of, it sucks, but you know, it is what it is when you want to have a better game. And so I kind of understand it, or I do understand it, but it just sucks, sort of. So got all these skins. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see them because their website's dog shit and they don't have it up. But yeah, they have all these skins, gems, titles, avatars, stuff like that. So it'll be cool. Got some new skins here. I'm not gonna be too interested in that. I only wanted to clarify the Smite 2 skins. Here, the Divine Legacy event, that's what it's called. You'll, for your progress and achievements over your Smite's history, you'll earn points for progress, and, you know, so that's basically what I said. You'll have Divine Legacy rewards for Smite 2. They have a new honor event. That's just an in-game thing. Keep an eye out, Immortal. Preview of gods coming. Oh, there's gonna be a new god too. I think it's called Newt, which will be coming out for Smite 1. I did see that. All right, so cross-gen Smite refers to capability, blah blah blah. Quality of life. Blink and teleport both now have altered sounds when they. Okay, that's quality of life. Bug fixes. Let's get past this. It's a little odd looking at all these because I kind of know what I'm looking for on the website. I don't know what I'm looking for on the PDF. There's no pictures here. So all game modes. Celestial comets. With Newt's arrival on the horizon, a brand new mechanic has appeared in the skies. Starting at 90 seconds in the game, a celestial comet will crash down in a lane. Okay. As the comet lands, it deals a small amount of damage and knocks back any god in the area. Comet has 10 pips and damaged only by 5 basic attacks. Each comet is chunked. Okay, so it's just a rock where you're hitting and you get pips, which... oh my god, they're bringing back the scepter. Oh, each chunk gives you 3 XP and 5 gold. That's pretty sick. So I'm guessing when you hit a comet, a little bit of the rock is going to come off and get some XP and gold. And then once you destroy it, you get a fucking scepter? Oh, baby, the scepter is back. 90 seconds. If you don't know, scepter was a controversial thing. And they were trying to implement it in so many different ways. They did it with the totem things towards each side of the map at one point in season 9? Was it season? It had to have been season 9. Because we're like, yeah, it had to be season 9. And then they also tried to do it to where like where the XP camp is on the conquest map. That was a scepter. Maybe it was season 10. I don't quite remember. It was either 9 or 10. But they're bringing it back, so it does damage, I'm assuming. It does damage to anything near it. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. The step will last 30 seconds. And Conquest, 30 seconds after it disappears, a new comet will spawn. Oh, baby. We're going to have a lot of comets. So I'm guessing a lot of people can have scepters, huh? That's pretty cool. In modes that have towers, when both tier 1 towers in lane are clear, the comet will stop spawning there. Comets will stop spawning altogether once all tier 1 towers are destroyed. Oh, okay. Wait. In the modes that have towers, when both tier 1 towers in lane are cleared, the comet will stop. Is this going to be in multiple modes? Oh my god. So this is going to be happening in Joust too. That's actually really sick. So after tier 1, comets won't come down, but... So we're going to be getting a scepter for Joust, Salt Arena. Oh, babe. This is going to be a new meta. We're going to have to get off the fucking comets, get XP. We're going to be fighting over goddamn comets in the middle of the fucking... This will definitely... So in Joust, there's a lot of issues in trying to turtle up and stuff. This might get people to try and sneak over there and try to get it without the other team noticing if they're like turtling up, to where the enemy team can take advantage of that, for example, and like fucking gank them and kill them, basically. That's pretty cool if I'm reading that right, which will be in every single game mode. Any game mode that has towers. Maybe not arena. Or maybe it is an arena, but they'll just keep spawning. That's pretty cool. I'm super excited about that. I love the scepter. It's just the way they implemented it was kind of, it wasn't that great. It was kind of hard. But I'm for this. If this is in every game mode, that's gonna be a new mechanic in Joust. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out. Here we go, Joust. This is exactly what it was. Joust map will be changing to Jade Corruption map. Let's go, baby. If you guys don't know my opinion on this, which I assume most of you do, I do not like the current one we're on, the Sky map, Season 3. I do not like this map for Joust. I think it's a great duel map, but it's just too small to have 6 concurrent people on the fucking map. It's just too much. There's not enough farm. There's only 4 buff camps, of which 2 are neutral and 1 are only for yourselves. There isn't enough, and so a lot of the time, there's just nothing to do. You're just looking at each other, waiting for stuff. And that's what happens when people are just sitting under tower. Now you can go do Bull Demon. That's the only good thing about this map that brings that back together. But there just should be more snowball potential. And I think Jade Corruption map has that. It has, was it 2, 3? It has 3 neutral farms. You have an extra camp. So there's gonna be 2 extra camps being a speed buff. And then you have blue buff, and then you have your red buff. So it's just so much. There's just a bigger map, more things to do. So you're never just like looking at each other. And of course, there's the Bull Demon. The Bull Demon jungle is just so much better. There's so much more shit to do. And on top of that, I think it's a little bit more tankier. There's just so much more shit to do on the Jade Corruption map. So I'm super excited about this. All right. So, my goddamn sinuses are fucking up. I can feel it. The more I talk, the more I fuck up. So there's gonna be a lot of pauses that you won't even be aware of. The camp on the Bull Demon King... Oh, there's more. Holy shit. The camp on Bull Demon King side will be replaced with the attack speed camp. Oh, okay. So instead of that neutral farm of the XP, like the two neutral little minion things, it's going to be the attack speed buff. So that's actually, there's going to be 2 neutral buff camps that are going to be really important. Because if you don't know, one of the big things that happened that switched up the meta for Joust, which I think is for the better, is the double tank team comp has sort of been pushed out to being one of the worst team comps outside of like a couple gods like Achilles and like Kuzumbo that can make that fucking team comp work. But regardless, generally speaking, Hunters have seen a resurgent and Assassins have seen a resurgent. So specifically with Hunters, that attack speed buff is going to be super important, which is really good. So this is good. This is really, really good. I was actually thinking, I was like, wait, so are we going to have the attack speed buff, or are you just like, what's going on here? We're going to have an attack speed buff there. So a more important neutral farm to try and get, as opposed to what it was before, which it was important to get that XP, and you know sometimes you'd fight over it, but not like you'd fight over red, for example, and that's gonna be another one you're gonna want to be fighting over. So there's gonna be a lot more fighting over there, I think. All camps have their buff effects updated to their Season 3 variants, excluding speed. to their season 3 variants. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Towers and Phoenixes retain their protection and shred effect. Okay, yeah, that's right. And then dual remain on season 3 map. Thank you. For fuck's sake, they finally, it's like the solution is just right there, and then they just wait fucking months and months and months to fix it. Like the starter item problem with you know, the support starters were just so busted, and it took them that long to get rid of it. The double tank team comp was it took them so long to get rid of that too. I think Joust is in a very good spot right now, compared at least. There's a lot more, there's a, you know, bigger issues to be had, but this is great. I fucking love these changes. This is perfect. Everything that I've wanted, just like in a macro sense for Joust, is happening and coming true. Now, there are small things in Joust that I think could be updated, you know, such as the XP and gold that you get from a camp, for example. I think that should be updated. But, you know, this is just like base level shit that I feel like should have been a thing to begin with, and now we're finally getting it. Now, hopefully they don't fucking change back to the season 3 like they have 3 other times or however many times. But I'll take it. I'll take it. For the foreseeable future, we're on Jade Corruption map. It's just a better map. But all camps have their buff effects updated to their season 3 variants. I'm imagining when they changed, you know, like blue buff to where it would give you cooldown, I think now it's going to be or when the buff camp had cooldown, for example, the blue buff, they changed it recently to where now it has MP5 for your teammates. So like if you're a support and you pick up blue, you can be giving your teammates MP5 as well. And so I think that's what they mean. But very great changes for Joust, and it's not even that much. Like, you don't need to do that much to make Joust just a better game mode. Now we just need like different ban systems and stuff like that. There's too many gods. There are too many good gods in Joust for there only to be 10 bans collectively, 5 for each team. But I am with that. On to Conquest. So I think I'm just gonna read the white ones. I think this is just like the orange text is just there to like give an explanation or whatever. Camp locations, switching up camps. Okay. Green buff and chest camp have swapped locations. Okay, so the chest camp, instead of being in the middle, is going to be towards closer to mid lane, and then vice versa. Green buff's going to be towards. That's actually a lot better. That's actually a hell of a lot better, and also makes more sense because green buff being closer to the carry lane makes way more sense because they're going to be going over there for the most part in the beginning section. And then after that, it doesn't really matter too much where the green buff is, but closer it is to where they're designated for is definitely better in my opinion. Roaming harpies will now spawn around the green camp. Okay, that makes sense. Shield and cooldown buffs have been moved to brand new locations on the outside. So I've seen the map, or like I have a very small picture of it. They're not changing the map too much. Like this says, shield and cooldown maps have been moved to brand new locations on the outside edges of the map. So I think they're adding a new section of the map, very similar to what they did in Season 9 when they had the older map, where they added sections off. They're just making the map bigger, which, you know, has its pros and cons, but that's pretty cool. Bastions, health increase, small shit. They're making it a little bit more tankier. Crimson Tone, this is the lifesteal. Increased magical lifesteal from 7. Oh my god. Added lifesteal. Holy shit. Wait, hold on. Spoilers. Lifesteal's getting a... Oh! It's getting a rework. And class... Oh! Maybe I should start reading this. Lifesteal's getting a rework and class passes are being removed. Make sure you read more on below to understand. Holy shit. Okay, well, this is perfect. I don't fuck with class passives. I didn't really like it that much. It's like a cool gimmick, but like, it was such a it's hard information to find to begin with. And then also just gave them weird, it just, the start of the game was always weird. If you don't remember the cringe mage build, where you went the old lifesteal tanky build while you had the damage protections, had all the damage and protections, had your cake and ate it too. One of the big issues was that mages got a lot of base power from the beginning. I think they got like 20 plus however much per level. Mages got just power. Let me see if I remember these. Assassins got flat pen. Hunters got auto attack damage, I believe. That scales with their level. I think this all scales with their level. Warriors got cooldown. I think it's 5% and then scaled with their level. And then Guardians got crowd control reduction. That's what I think. That's all it was. I didn't really care about all those, and because, you know, the flat pen on assassins make it to where they can kill so much easier, just because they're an assassin. Mages just do more base damage. I mean, you could get up to 100 power at the beginning of your game at level fucking 1 to 2, 3, which is ridiculous. Yeah, I think that was one of the big issues for why mages were such an dominant fashion last season with that mage build. So I'm super glad that they're getting rid of this. It was cool while it was here, but honestly, I think it's better that they just got rid of that, which is cool. But they're reworking lifesteal. Golem totem, add physical and magical penetration, blah blah blah. Cyclop rogues have started to get creative because they're offering a new reward to those who are able to track them down. Will now provide players access to their wares, being a special item shop outside the base. Unrestricted meaning you can buy anything and everything for duration. Ooh, okay, so it's gonna be like a Chester, because I think that's what that is. Cyclops is Chester, where you kill a Chester, and I think you're gonna be able. Oh wait, will this? Hold on. In Conquest only, every other Cyclops rogue defeated will spawn a jungle shop. Wait, in Conquest only, every other Cyclops rogue defeated will spawn a jungle shop. For allies, that allows you to purchase from. Okay, so this is only happening in Conquest, which is still cool. But I'm assuming that you can. There's gonna be like a little Chester, sorry, that you can go and use an item shop. That's pretty cool if I'm reading that right. Jungle shop will last for 30-60 seconds. Jungle shop will always start with the second. Okay, so I'm guessing after you kill the first one that gives you speed. I'm assuming this is what we're talking about here. The purple one, or the Cyclops purple thing that I think that they said it was. You're gonna be able to have. You're gonna be able to buy stuff in the shop. I believe they said it was purple. Did they say it in here? I think they said it was purple. Let's see, teleporters. Oh, the teleporters on. I did see that on the map. Teleporters on each side of the lane. You're going to be able to teleport from each side. It's going to take like maybe a couple seconds to get over there, but that's super. If they're going to make the map as big as it is, having a gimmick like that, I think, is really not only cool, but almost necessary, because, you know, being able to traverse the map from solo side to duo side is super annoying. Like, you have to go across the entire fucking planet, which made it to where, like, you know, you can out rotate somebody and they're never going to be able to go along. Like, if somebody's in solo lane and somebody's ganking in fucking duo lane, you're never going to make it over there. So being able to have like a little cheeky teleport thing, which I assume has a cooldown, you know, I think that's really cool, and I think that's going to help a lot of the. I think it's going to be a lot more. It's going to make the game a lot more aggro, I think, and it's going to make the game not last as long, I hope, because it's going to make it to where kills, gold, stuff like that, XP is going to make. You're going to have a little bit more snowball with that, with its potential. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so there'll be the teleporter pads, and then these pads do not unlock until 8 minutes in the game. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nagas will guard it, so there's gonna be a little XP camp before it. Yeah, it takes 4.5 seconds. This was a pretty cool thing to see when they introduced the map on yesterday. When the warm-up time is completed, blah blah blah, and you want to teleport, not able to teleport. Yeah, there we go. Sticky and Beacon. Titans have fought for months. Thus, capturing Beacon will now award players with something new. Okay, so there's not going to be any more of the Titans, which a lot of people either loved or hated. More people hated that shit, which I don't necessarily blame. I didn't really care about that mechanic. Sticky and Beacon was pretty cool, but I don't think the Titan spawn was all that cool. The Stygian Barrage is now a result of the torrent of soul energy accumulated, dealing damage to all active structures the enemy possesses. Okay, so I'm guessing tier 1, tier 2s, and maybe Phoenixes, Beacon no longer accumulates. Yeah. Regardless of which team captures it, the damage dealt will be increased up to 3 times. Okay, first capture 5. Okay, so it scales up. So you're gonna be doing damage to towers, which is pretty cool. That should make the game a little bit faster. One of the things in Conquest that really, it's cool that it's this way, but also it's sort of annoying when you only have a limited amount of time. But Conquest is a super long game. You'll be lucky if you have a game that's at least 30 minutes, or I mean, sorry, that lasts less than 30 minutes. These fucking games last 45 minutes, dude. 30 to 45 minutes at you know, regularly speaking. You can get up games 60 minutes. And then when you lose, or if you lose, it just feels really bad. And so I think being able to make the map bigger while also making it to where you have a shorter game, I think that's a really cool thing, or a really good thing to try to achieve. I think that's what they're doing, which I think is pretty cool. But let's see, damage can kill towers. Okay, so they can kill towers, but will never bring a Phoenix lower than 10%. Okay, so you can't take advantage of this system trying to kill the Phoenix, which is pretty cool. I like that. Fire Giant, I saw Fire Giant had this thing where it has almost like a following raw snipe, or raw one. I think like a light beam follows you. Has a brand new attack mode, or attack added to its rotation. Firefall. This attack summons a giant beam of fire from the sky. Yeah, very similar to a raw one that'll follow you for 3 seconds, knocking up anyone. So it's gonna be another thing you have to be looking forward to. Trying to fucking maneuver around that goddamn fire. The knockups, the fire pools, and then now a fucking beaming following light that does even more damage and knocks you up too. Cool, I guess. Fire Giant now has an effigy. What's this? When it reaches 85% health, the effigy has a 750 health and 0 protections. This effigy be damaged by basic attacks. Okay, so I think it's going to be a little thing that spawns and you can destroy it. Interesting. Where you the Fire Giant will take 15% more damage from all sources. Oh, making the Fire Giant weaker, you say, at 30 minutes when you have EFG. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Because I'm assuming that enemies can do that too, right? It'll be 15% more damage from all, or is it just your team? Maybe whoever captures it gets that. I don't know. I think this reminds me of like Executioner. Executioner reduces protections, but it also reduces protections for your whole team. So I wonder if it's like that. I don't know. I'm guessing they're increasing Fire Giant health, which is okay, I guess. Health per level increased. Let's see, enhanced base health. Yeah. They're just increasing, making it a little bit more tankier, I guess, to try to counterbalance that 15% more damage. Blue camp spawn increased from 0 to 15. Okay, so it starts at 15 seconds in the game. I'm guessing they're just gonna be doing that at like the beginning of the season and then eventually taper it off. XP ships, this isn't anything that's too important. I mean, like, it's definitely gonna make a difference. But I'm not into that. I'm not trying to be like, you know, read a couple of these, but base XP increase from 95 to, they're getting a lot more XP and a little bit less gold, which means that you're going to be able to scale a lot. This is actually good. I think this is actually a good thing. I think being able to be a higher level, I don't know what the gold maybe is, or maybe it's a counterbalance. You be a higher level, you'll get to level 20, like maybe 18 minutes into the game, 17 minutes into the game, instead of like the 22 minute mark. So that's pretty cool. Make the game a little bit shorter. We always love that. A lot of them here. All right, almost halfway done. Let's see. All 3 ranked game modes are now hard reset. We plan to do a soft reset every other patch. Okay, this is good. Every other patch for year 11 starting in 11.3. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, if you're going to have a hard reset, you want to have a couple patches where you can get up to that rank where you think you are or where you actually are. Soft reset just means like they'll bring every single down just a little bit based on what game mode or what rank you are. I like soft resets. We haven't had a soft reset in so long. So like getting up to that GM, having a lot of other people have a chance of getting GM is going to be a lot easier. And hopefully I can try and sneak one in there to say that I'm GM. Bakugan is now available. That's going to be interesting to see, but that's to be expected. All right, so I did see some of these duel changes. I actually I saw it in one of my discords. I was able to see what this was. Very simply, for the people who do play duel, they did a system to where they banned like the top ranked gods in duel, such as like Set, Baka, insert any of the fucking hunters like on her. And they said that they said that it was like really good. They like this. I still have my mixed opinions. I don't play duel, so like, who am I to fucking have like a really good opinion on it? But they're sort of like flip-flopping it back and forth. If you've played Apex, this isn't a great example, but if you played Apex, you know that each map, well, like depending on what time it is throughout the day, like every hour or two or something, they'll switch out maps. Similar to that, instead of it being hours where you switch out maps, it's going to be like every some amount of patch, like every couple patch notes or whatever. They're going to be bringing back some gods and then also banning some others. So they're bringing back some of the top ranked gods from before the duel changes came in season 10, and they're getting rid of the top ranked bans or the top performing gods in duel right now. So Heimdall, Izanami, Agni, Camazotz, Erlang Shen, Fenrir, they're going to be banning these gods and bringing back these gods, which is going to be interesting. Arachne is a pretty solid pick. I saw Set. I might actually play some Set duel, which will be kind of fun. So you might see me playing some Set duel. I fucking love Set duel whenever I play duel, so I might be doing some of that. But yeah, so they're going to be doing top picks for each split, I guess I'm assuming they're going to be doing, and they're going to be banning some of them and then bringing back some as well. So you're going to eventually see like Baka, shit like that too. So very small dual update, and what's going to be happening in the foreseeable future. Recipes. All recipes are removed from the game. I did see this one as well. I love recipes. Recipes were so fucking cool. And I think that they're going to be transitioning recipes into something more interesting from what I saw. It's going to make a little, and we'll just get into it right now. But very, very quickly, I love the recipes. It's one of the biggest things from Smite Season 10 that I loved. The recipes and, other things like that. So, but yeah. So they're bringing back this form of recipes into shards. So claw shard and carapace shard are removed from the game. So those you click a button to activate the claw shard or the carapace shard. Claw shard giving you more power and lifesteal, I believe. Carapace shard giving you more cooldown, and then I can't remember the other shard, but the attack speed shard, golden shard. No, that's what this is. They're getting rid of that, and they're now adding new passive shards. So it's just going to be a passive now, in place of where the shards are going to be up until level 12, I believe, where you can get your next relic. So golden shard, all basic attacks will hit enemies. So it's just a different variant of recipes that you don't have to stack. So there aren't any, any challenges or anything you have to do every game to get your golden gooseberries or your bow or your other ones that no one really ever picks up. Sturdy, stew. So golden shard is going to be like gooseberries. All basic attacks will hit enemies within a 10 unit radius of targets for 15% of the damage to gods and 25% of damage to minions. It's going to make clearing a lot easier. Sturdy stew, crowd control, pulse gives you protections. These are all basically the same as the others. Vibrant shard, you get basically is the same to the jungle one, where you get more damage based on the units traveled. And then oh yeah, this is one thing. You don't have to activate these shards. They're just going to be passive things that you just get off right out the bat. So now I'm not entirely sure. I thought maybe they were going to do bow and something else, but apparently there are only 3. Okay, so I guess really you only buy golden shard, sturdy shard, and vibrant shard. I thought there may have been others, but I guess not. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. So I'm assuming golden shard's going to be good for your junglers. Sturdy's going to be good for your warriors and your guardians. And then obviously I meant to say here, this could also be for, or this might primarily be for hunters. You can get golden shard for, auto attack gods like Bakasur and Nem, for example. And vibrant shard is going to be definitely for your junglers that do more damage rather than like clearing with your autos. And then Vibrant Shard might be, you know, in Joust. I'm thinking Sturdy Shard's going to be bought on every single Guardian / Warrior. Golden Shard's going to be on every single Hunter. And then I think Vibrant Shard's just going to be your Mage, even your Assassins, and then maybe even more. I think Vibrant Shard's probably going to be picked up the most. I could see some tech. Maybe Sturdy Shard would be good for your mages if you wanted to be a little bit more tanky. Or even if you're trying to be hybrid. Like if you go Camazot's, or no, let's do Thor. Thor can be hybrid. Is a better version of being a hybrid god. You could go Warrior's Axe, Sturdy Shard, and Gauntlet, and you can have that Sturdy Shard depending on, you know, crowd control. There's gonna be a lot of new things that we're gonna have to play with to see what the most efficient tactic available is, which is what mana stands for. So this will be interesting. I my opinion on this is that I think that the recipes were just a better version of it, because now this takes like no skill and you just get it right off the bat, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's gonna be cool. There's gonna be things that you can do, but right off the bat being able to have this, I think it's a little, I don't know how I feel about it. It's gonna scale fine because, you know, damage, the damage that you do won't be crazy because it scales off of your power, scales off of your damage, scales off of your level, so it won't be too crazy. But I think, I don't know, just blindly or just giving somebody something just to have versus, you know, having a recipe where you can snowball from that. Like, you know, if you're dominating somebody in lane with golden gooseberries, you can stack that a lot quicker than your enemy team, which can make you snowball more, make you have you know, punish the enemy team for not playing as well, for example, or, you know, incentivizing people to make more riskier plays to try and get that snowball, you know, stuff like that. I think it's good. I think I love this system. I just think maybe the way they implemented it is a little, I don't know how I feel about that, but this is definitely going to be a very cool aspect that's going to be into the game for Season 11. But yeah, Relic Quests. I did see this too. So, all relics can now be upgraded for free, completing a variety of quests throughout the game, which is very cool. I like that system a little bit more. I think that with the recipes, I think that recipe aspect to relics is pretty cool. I think that's going to make it to where like you can have challenges instead of just upgrading it. I think you can still upgrade it. You may still purchase relics for upgrade for gold. I don't know what the quests are. Oh, I guess they're right here. I'm stupid. Tier 1 and Tier 2 relics have unique quests that scale depending on if the relic is purchased first or second throughout the game. Relic Quest 1. Kill or assist 140 minions. Second is 80 minions. 90, 60 instances. Oh, all Tier 2 relics. Deal instances of damage or crowd control to enemy gods. You may only gain 1 stack per second. So throughout the game, if you're either a tank or a warrior or something like that, you do crowd control to an enemy god, you're going to get that's going to be 1 instance. So it's very similar to a prophetic cloak, for example. It's going to be similar to that. And this is just off the cuff. You don't even need to do anything about this. Like, it's just going to eventually happen. So you can just look at your relic and be like, oh shit, I was able to get that. That's pretty cool. But for the first relic, it's going to take 90 instances because you will have that relic a lot longer, I'm assuming. So that's why they did that. And then 60 instances. So you don't even need to be aware of this. You could just do it and you just have the effects, which I think is pretty cool. It's going to make Joust a little bit harder, I think, because you're going to have a lot more gold. And now with you being able to just get these for free, basically, by either doing minions or 90 or 60 instances of crowd control, you're going to have your upgraded relics pretty quickly, which means that at the end of the game, when you have like a full set of items and you're not level 20 yet, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. You may be able to upgrade your starter earlier, maybe, but you're just going to have a lot of gold left over, which will eventually just go into power pots or wards, for example. But yeah, that's going to be the relic system. Let's see, relics. I'm guessing tier 3. So for but there's a tier 3, right? There should be, because that'll be your upgraded version of it, no? Let's see, maybe it'll go here. Explain it here. Due to the way relic quests function, all relics will now only have 1 tier 3 upgrade. Okay, so there is a tier 3 upgrade. Oh, it's only gonna be one. So there's not gonna be a branch off. That's actually interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say, how are they gonna fix this? Now it's just gonna be one of each. Belt and Frenzy and Cursed Ankh are removed from the game. Okay, we reverse the core effects of Frenzy and Ankh on. Oh, okay, so they're adding. Oh my God, are they gonna add different relics to the thing? Aegis and Aegis of Cell. Okay, this has no changes. Blink Rune. Corrupted Blink Rune is removed from the game. Oh my God, they're getting new tier 3s for everything. Okay, so tier 3 Scorching Blink Rune. This is going to be one. New effect. Enemies affected by flames have their movement and attack speed slowed by 15%. Oh my God, they're just adding like a different version of the... Okay, so this is just a better Blink Rune. You're going to be doing damage and reducing their attack speed and movement speed. So they're just combining the two. Oh, they are combining. This also includes the... Wow. This is actually really good. I do have a little bit of issues with it. It does make it to where your relics are even better now. Relics are probably the best thing in the game right now. So, especially with this now. So, Bracer of Lumin... Yeah, so they're removing a lot of these items. And then I'm guessing just combining them. Heavenly Wings, Hasten Wings is removed from the game. Heavenly Wings... Oh, Heavenly Wings has a new effect. Now grants increased attack speed. Oh, yeah, if you guys don't know, Hasten Wings used to be like a niche item for hunters that a lot of hunters could use because you have no haste. Or I'm sorry, you have no movement penalty whenever you're autoing. So you're able to basically have haste and katana whenever you use your relic. And so you can auto them while just walking straight onto them, which was really busted, but not picked up enough to where I think I'm pretty sure that's why they're removing it. Just wasn't that great of an item. It was only for like a niche case, and that was really only for like other game modes outside of Conquest, like Joust. I didn't really see that in Conquest, but Joust was one of them. But see, Heavenly Wings now has increased to where Entangling Wings now has 25 increased attack speed, which is insane now as attack speed. So a lot of hunters are going to be picking that up more often. Horrific Emblem. So, Emblem of Trembling Terror is removed from the game. Tier 1 Horrific Emblem. Okay. Removed attack speed slow. Okay. All healing received by enemies is reduced by 40. Their shield effectiveness is decreased by 50. And 75. Oh my God. What the fuck? Okay. So, they're adding Cursed Ankh to Horrific Emblem with the healing. I was going to say earlier, I was like, what's the anti-heal fucking counter then? Their shield effectiveness is decreased. And then 75% of any currently applied shield is removed. So they're just adding all different type of effects from other relics onto this. That's actually insane. And then I'm assuming everything else, Emblem of Increasing Peril, it's just going to be a heightened version of it, right? All healing received. 50%. It was the same exact thing. These effects are not increased by relic's ability. Okay. Okay, so it's all the same. Then what's the point of upgrading Horrific Emblem outside of making it to where the relic comes up sooner? Because it's all the same percentage. Maybe it's just... Because this item's already busted, maybe they don't want to fucking make it even better. Because that's a lot there for the countering. So you're going to be getting that. So we got to get this in our mind now to where fucking it's not Cursed Ankh anymore. It's Horrific Emblem for the healing reduction and shield effectiveness. That's going to be really good for gods like Nike, Charon, stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Magic Shell. Fortifying Shell is removed from the game. Phantom Shell is... Yeah, I was going to say, you can't get rid of Phantom Shell. But it doesn't seem like they're changing much of Shell. I'm assuming they're not really changing much of Cloak of Meditation or Bracer. It just says they're... I think maybe these ones aren't being combined. Phantom Shell has no changes. Chaotic Beads is removed from the game. Temporal Beads is no changes. So I'm guessing Beads, Magic Shell, Cloak of Meditation, Bracer are going to be the same. Blink Rune, Heavenly Wings, Horrific Emblem, and I think those are going to be the ones that are really the only ones that are getting changes to where they're transitioning into one thing. Shield of Thorns. Oh, baby, this is a big one. Problematic Relic. I'm just going to skim through this because I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal if I skip this. All right, so Shield of Thorns. Using this item grants you 15% damage negation as you store all damage taken over the next 3 seconds. You then explode in 30 unit radius, dealing 100 plus 50% of damage taken as magical damage up to... oh my god. And then while this... oh, well, that was already a thing. Lifesteal was already decreased. When you have thorns, you can't really decrease. So this is a very good hunter fucking counter. It wasn't really that good to begin with in, like, you know, season 10, season 9, stuff like that, because hunters were able to just shred you even with this, and it didn't do enough damage to where it would stop the hunter from auto attacking you. So maybe this will do that. Yeah, so the cooldown is just being changed. Everything else is going to be the same except for this. What's this? While this is active, enemies can only lifesteal from you for 50%, and it was 75. Why is it going down? Doesn't make sense. You upgrade it. Each basic attack from enemy gods reduces the cooldown of this item. Oh, okay, so doing a counterbalance for this. So basically, once you get to tier 3, you're getting 15% damage mitigation. You're then storing all the damage that you take and doing an explosion in 30 unit radius, dealing 100 damage plus 50% of the damage taken as magical damage, which is insane. It only goes up to 25%. So you can be possibly doing 25% damage. So imagine this on Kuzumbo. Holy shit. You're going to be doing so much damage. Kuzumbo might be the new tech for Joust in terms of like being able to have this thorns. And then if there's a 100 enemy team, you just counter the fuck out of him. Use your 2 thorns. Now they don't have any lifesteal. And you're actively reducing. They're just going to have to run away. I still think this item is going to be sort of, you know, it's going to be like a niche take, I think. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but it's going to be really good on those specific niche gods, like a Kuzumbo, I think. Or any type of god, maybe they have a lot of ADCs. So, you know, going this will be better. I think this is a lot better than the other relic that it was before. I think it's still going to be pretty niche, though. And then similarly with, you know, Horrific, I think Horrific is going to be a lot more, or actually... if they're doing attack speed slow, are they also doing movement speed slow? Because it doesn't say it here. Hopefully they're still doing that. Maybe it's just the attack speed. But if they're giving that plus, you know, healing reduction and shield effectiveness, this might be a niche item too, depending on whether or not it has what it already had before, where it reduces the enemy damage too. But let's see if you'll see Horrific also increase the damage taken if healed effect from... okay, I don't really know. Maybe we'll have to see. But it seems like these relics might just be kind of niche. Heavenly Wings will be a little bit better. Bracer and Cloak of Meditation's gonna be the same, basically. Corrupted Blink's gonna be broken. That's gonna be a disgusting item. Aegis and Beads don't need anything because they're already the best relics in the game. Magic Shell doesn't have that much change. Thorns is gonna be niche as well, so... we're on to Sundering Spear. Sundering Siphon is removed from the game, and Sundering Blast has no changes. Okay, so Sundering is changing, is just being the same too. So Sundering is going to be really good too. It's the same old, but now you always get Sundering Blast. Teleport Fragment. Oh my god, new relic. I think I saw that actually. Teleport was another close race. Heroic Teleport is removed from the game, and let's see, Persistent Teleport, new effect. After teleporting, you gain slow immunity, 20% movement speed, and 40 protections for 5 seconds. So I think they're just combining these two as well, because I think that's what it was, or maybe it's just a new effect. But teleport has always been one of those items that are pretty good on solo lane, being able to teleport. Outside of Conquest, this is not really used ever. New relic, Divine Barrier. So I did see this, yeah. I didn't realize it was a new relic. I thought maybe it was like an item, or like a consumable. But it's a relic. Divine Barrier. Deploy a 40 unit wall. The damage of the enemy basic attacks that pass through it are reduced by 30%. And additionally, all enemies that pass through the barrier are slowed by 30% for 3 seconds. The barrier lasts for 30 seconds. This will be really good, I think, on your supports, especially in Conquest. Maybe a support grabs this, or a warrior or warrior, because you can actually set it up. I've seen the unit. It's actually pretty big. In Joust, I think this is going to be pretty good too. We're going to have to do some testing with it, but for the Phoenix, for example, in Joust, because it's so much more important than Conquest, because there's only 1 Phoenix in Joust where there is 3 in Conquest. having this barrier might be really, really good. If it takes up the majority of the Phoenix, that is. So we're going to have to see how that is. Because if somebody is able to slip on by, it's still like an added thing to where they have to maneuver around. But this might make it to where sieges are a little bit harder. Even if they have Bull Demon, they're going to have to push through it, and they're going to be doing a little bit less damage to the Phoenix. So this might be really good. And then you upgrade it. And imagine getting Relic Dagger too. You're just going to have this up all the time. So like instead of like just watching your enemies just fuck, or the enemies fuck with your tower, you could actually just place the barrier there. And then, you know, they're either doing less damage with their autos, or, you know, they're going to be slowed. So at least on paper, I think this is going to be a pretty decent item. But also at the same time, I could see this being a pretty shit item too, or relic. We're just gonna have to see. But its potential, I think, is pretty good. Let's see the difference between the top one when you upgrade to tier 3. So deploy a 40 unit wall, reduces damage of all enemy basics by 30%, increases damage of allied. Ooh, interesting. So it's gonna make hunters better. I think this is a little bit not that important. I think for defense, this is gonna be the best thing. But so it's gonna be like a Thoth wall actually. I don't think it's gonna be that important. So if you were to both each buy one, you'd actually be reducing it by like 20%. Like if you both put walls, like an enemy wall and then like an ally wall in front of each other, it's going to make it to where the counterbalance is you're going to be doing 20% less damage, for example. That's only if you both buy and place it down at the same time. But this does last for 30 seconds, which, you know, might have a big impact. You may not be able to take Phoenix, or you're not going to be able to take Phoenix as quick as you could before. With this up, so that's going to be very interesting. There's gonna be a lot of testing I'm gonna try to do and see what's good and not. But this, I think, has a lot of potential depending on how you play it. This does mean that you're not gonna have a specific relic in place, like Shell. You might have Shell and Divine Barrier, or you might have to get rid of Shell and get Divine Barrier and, like, you know, Sunder or Beads or Horrific Emblem. So it is gonna take up a slot. So that's gonna be also another thing we're going to pay attention to, as you're not able to get some of the other relics that you would because of this new relic. So there's a lot of things we're going to have to test here, but I think this has a lot of potential. Consumables. I'm going to try to, because we do have a third of this left. Holy shit. Man chalices are removed. Thank you. New ward, proximity ward. This ward allows you to see enemy movement within 20 units. It does respect line of sight and can't see through walls or stealth. If an enemy god enters in vision range, the wards will explode after 1.5 seconds in a 45 unit radius, slowing enemies. Oh my god, this is a lot of shit. Holy fuck. Cost 75. Can only carry one at a time. So let me read this again. In my so 20 units you'll be able to see just like a regular ward. You can't see through walls or stealth. If an enemy god enters its vision range, the ward will explode. So it doesn't seem like it does any damage, but it will make it to where within a 45 unit radius, it slows enemy down by 20 seconds and reveals them for 10. Okay, so basically if you place this ward, let's say you place it at Bull Demon King, and they get too close to it, and then it explodes after 1.5 seconds, then you'll be able to see them for a whole 10 seconds. And also slows them too. So you'll be able to see them for 10 seconds, which is actually a lot. And I think you can kill this with, because it says, or it kind of alludes with the way it says that you can kill it before it explodes. And it remains for 5 minutes or until killed. So it's a regular ward. That's actually a pretty cool ward. I like that. I don't know how important that's going to be. It can have some impact, could be pretty cool to use, but I think, you know, maybe it has some type of play, but it seems like it doesn't. I don't know if it's going to do all that much. In Conquest, it's going to be a lot better, I think. In Joust, I don't think this is necessary as much because Joust is such a small map. Even in, or well, you know, I'm saying this compared to Conquest. It's a small map, so the proximity, I mean, you're going to see them anyways with a regular ward, so the proximity ward isn't going to be all that important, I don't think. But it's definitely cool and can definitely have some outplay potential as well, too, so. Alright. Raven, another ward? Holy shit. This ward that flies. Oh my god, wait. This is a ward that flies along a 500 unit line that allows you to see enemy movement within 50 units? It does not respect line of sight, but I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 50 units. The 500 unit line is crazy. Okay, so this is like a surveillance sweep. What the fuck? If you played Red Alert, it does not respect line of sight, but can't see through stealth. Okay, so stealth is going to be one thing it can't see. So Loki, Ao Kuang going to be able to pass over that. Can only carry one at a time. 75 gold. 75 gold. This is way better. Now, I don't know if it tells you how fast it's going to go. It might be like really slow, but in Joust, you're going to be able to throw that over. You could just throw that out. Be like, are they doing Bull Demon? Here, let me just buy a ward real quick. I'm going to go back. They're going over to where Bull Demon is. Let me just throw out a Raven ward, and we throw it out so you guys, so we can see if they're over there, if they're making their way over there, what they're doing, stuff like that. That's pretty sick. This is going to have way more of impact, I think. This is actually crazy. This is going to be one of those items that you're going to buy if like you're in a pinch. Like, oh shit, hold on. We need to check to see. We don't actually know if they're over there, but just buy one real quick. See if we can throw it out there. There's only 75 gold. Throw it out there. It's going to make it to where, you know, you're not risking so much. Because going over there, especially late game, you can definitely fucking get one shot. So throwing a ward over there might actually be really fucking insane. I like this. This item is going to be, I'm going to be buying this one, I think. Going to have to be testing all of this out just to see how much of a change. But based off what it is, I like this Raven ward. This is actually one of the main aspects of warding that I always have struggled with. I'm like, I want to ward, my teammates aren't near me, so I don't want to go over there if the enemies are over there and they collide on me, because then I die and they get fire for free or Bull Demon for free, and then we lose the game. So being able to throw a Raven ward over there might be really sick. Now, if there's no outplay potential for this, because with a sentry ward you can delete somebody else's ward. But if there might be an in-game thing where you throw the Raven ward over, maybe someone will be able to see that you threw a Raven ward over. Because I feel like there should be some type of notification towards the enemy team that they threw that. Because there really isn't any outplay for that, is there? I feel like there should be at least some way to outplay almost anything in the game. So hopefully you can see Raven ward. So there's a couple things I want to figure out. Whether or not you can see the Raven ward from an enemy's perspective. And how fast it goes. That'll be definitely things I want to test out. Lifesteal rework. Let's go, baby. So let's see. Lifesteal is being adjusted game-wide to being 50% or less effective against minions. Okay, so you're healing 50% less. To accomplish this, all lifesteal and minions have been decreased by 50%. Okay, and all lifesteal and items and abilities have been increased by roughly 50%. Okay, so if you... Let me get this straight. So lifesteal on abilities and items are being increased by 50%, so that the number on items are going to be increased. So if it's like 7% lifesteal, it's going to get 14% lifesteal, but then it's going to do 50% less on minions, so it's going to go back down to 7%. So isn't that just redundant? Isn't it just going to be the same amount of lifesteal as it is now? But you're going to be able to do more lifesteal on everything else that aren't minions. Okay, that makes sense. So you're going to be doing the same amount of lifesteal, I think, on minions, but you're going to have 50% more lifesteal. Holy shit. So on gods, in essence, this will decrease lifesteal on minions by 25%. Oh, 25%, while increasing lifesteal on gods by 50%. Okay. Wow. I was going to say, because this made a little bit no sense, but they cleared it up here. You're going to be doing... So if you're healing for 50 in auto with Aussie late game, you're gonna be doing why can't I do math? You're gonna be doing 12.5. You're gonna be doing 12. 25% of 50 is 12.5. So you're gonna be doing 37.5 instead of 50. But you're increasing lifesteal on gods. That's actually insane. Okay, let me fucking internalize that. That means if you have lifesteal on a hunter and you have Aussie passive and you're autoing a god, you just never lose. You just never win those fights if you're going up against a hunter with like Aussie. This is actually a fucking huge buff towards hunters in terms of, and assassins who use lifesteal on, and fucking, you know, lifesteal gods like Anubis. That's a huge buff in terms of 1v1ing. So if they have a lot of sustain with lifesteal and they're autoing you or they're doing damage, like Bancross Town for Anubis, you might just want to fuck off. Anti-heal is going to be super more important now. Pestilence, Contagion, Divine Rune, Toxic Blade even are going to be super important. Lifesteal caps have been raised. Oh no, holy shit, Lifesteal's OP. Lifesteal's OP, what the fuck? Holy shit. The lifesteal caps have been raised 50% to 80% for physical and 40% to 70%. Holy shit. Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so basically the synopsis of this is that, you know, out of combat healing is going to be reduced, so you can't go up to a minion camp and do as much sustain as you did beforehand. But now 1v1ing gods, holy shit, you're going to be able to destroy them. On the added effect that, you know, Aussie or Bancross Town, you're going to be doing more sustain on a 1v1 or against a lot of other gods. If you're like, you know, Anubis 1, you're going to be getting way more sustain off. This might need to be fixed or something, because holy shit, you just never win a 1v1. You're going to be doing more damage and more sustain for that god. Not more damage, but you're going to be basically doing more damage because of the amount of lifesteal that you're getting from attacking a god. So more lifesteal on gods and less lifesteal on minion camps and shit like that. That's insane. Okay, we'll see. I think that's OP as shit, but maybe I'm wrong. But Jesus, that's gonna be OP as shit, I think. New item. Oh baby, new items. Crimson Claws. Lifesteal, what better time than now? Interested, brand new item. Lifesteal into shield. We might want to make an alternative to Bloodforge. Oh my god, we're buffing the hunters. Upgrades from Bound Gauntlet. 50 physical power. That's a lot of power. Holy shit. 20 attack speed. 15% life. Oh, this is just better than Devos. Do you have to stack it? Life stealing from enemies while at full health grants you... Wait. Life stealing from enemies while at full health grants you the value as a shield, which may not... Oh my god. Oh my god. So if you're just attacking minions at 100%, you're just getting a shield. How long does the shield last? Forever? And it's a little expensive, but this item's busted. You don't even need to stack it. Okay. This is probably better. This is definitely better than Devos. This might be a new player in the game in terms of your attack speed, auto attack speed and lifesteal for your hunters. Hunters are going to be really good, I think. Now hunters are super fucking good, actually, now I'm thinking about it, in Joust, and just generally speaking, with lifesteal at least, being able to 1v1 gods is going to be a thing now, with them increasing cap on lifesteal, making this new busted item. I think you're going to be able to do a lot more damage to those gods, while also being able to be tanky with the shield. Ooh baby. This is going to be an interesting item I want to try out. This is definitely better than Devos, in my opinion. Devos gives you a little bit more power, but this gives you a passive, which Devos doesn't. And you get it right away. Oh, baby. We're going to see how that works. They're probably going to need to nerf this, too. Leather's Cow. Okay, these are just... Yeah, so they're just doubling it, basically. Or increasing it by a third. 25, okay. These are all just healing. We're going to skip through this. No wonder why this page is so long, because there's so much lifesteal for every single god. Ooh, new reworked item, Rejuvenating Heart. Let's see. Alright, so now, Rejuvenating Heart gives 55 power, 200 health, 300 mana, and lifesteal. Oh, baby. That's actually pretty cool. Rejuvenating Heart just wasn't one of those items, those healing items that just didn't really stick. Oh. I swear, I don't work for high res. Maybe I just read that on accident. I don't know. But yeah, no, this item just wasn't that great. What's this passive? Life stealing off of enemy gods heals yourself and nearby. Oh my god. Wait. Dude, lifesteal's busted. This is magic, so you won't be able to build this on like a hunter, but an 80C, Anubis, Hades. Oh, this is like a Hades 3. Hades 3 heals our allies based on how much lifesteal you have. Oh my god, this is a busted item now too. It only gives 55 power, but its lifesteal is crazy. 15% lifesteal, lifestealing on enemies, heals yourself and nearby allies with 40 unit. Wait, lifestealing off an enemy? Gods. Only gods though. So it's only gods. Heal yourself and nearby allies. So your outplay potential in terms of lifesteal, pestilence, I'm telling you, pestilence, contagion, divine, beat stick are gonna be your absolute go-to items all the time. If you ever see if you see like an Anubis, even a hunter with like the new lifesteal item for hunters, oh my god. Ooh, okay, this item's busted on gods like Anubis. Who are the lifesteal? Hades, like I said. Freya. Oh man, here we go. We're gonna have to see how that works. Lifesteal is gonna be really good. So lifesteal stuff here, blah blah blah, increasing lifesteal. I actually want to look at Typhon's Fang. Typhon's Fang's base power is being nerfed due to its conversion. Okay. Of lifesteal to power. We still want to encourage the full commit lifesteal style for those who wish to try it. So we're going to further adjusting the conversion rate from our. Okay, so it's still going to be 1.5, which is still pretty decent. But they're decreasing the power by a little bit because of that. So that does make sense. I was thinking about this item specifically because this item, with lifesteal being increased 1.5 times, Typhon's Fang is going to be really fucking good. It's going to be really fucking good. That's her healing. Yeah, all these up here. Stacking item refresh. Okay. What is this? Instead, players will earn stacks by dealing damage and earn double the stacks when hitting enemy gods. Oh no, what is this? Is this an added thing to last kill? That's oh, stacking items are now in Assault too. Being hearing any spam. I mean, stacking items were pretty decent in Joust. I don't know about Arena, but Joust was better. It was the case that it was a little bit harder for gods to double stack though, because you had to last hit 6 minions like over and over and over again with Book of Thoth and like Trans. So it was only 1 per god for example, but all last hit kill stacking items are being reworked to now gain stacks from dealing damage to enemies. Dealing damage to enemy gods grants double the contributions towards stacking. Okay, meaning you can now stack these items faster by actively fighting. Oh, this is going to incentivize people fighting, because you're going to get double the contribution towards stacks if you're poking out enemies. Oh man, okay. So I'm guessing Baba Yaga's passive is still going to stay the same, but Book of Thoth is going to be really good now. Book of Thoth is still going to be really good. You're going to still need cooldown, but Book of Thoth is even better now. So, Thoth, building Book of Thoth is actually going to be really good because you can poke enemy gods. Any god that has a long-range form of damage or secure in damage, like Zeus, for example, it's going to be really good for those gods too. Oh, man. So, let's see the actual conversion. Gain stacks by dealing a total of 30,000 damage to gods or minions. Max stacks decrease from 75 to 50. What about book? Max stacks increase from 75 to 100. Okay, so I'm guessing each stack will equate to 1/100th. So 1% of 45% damage dealt is going to be 1 stack. So what is that? What's 1% of 4,500? 450. So every 450 damage, you're going to get a stack, if I'm doing that correctly. Okay, so that makes more sense. So you're going to be getting stacks, but it's going to be based on a percentage of how much damage you do. So Book of Thoth, every 450 damage, you're going to get a stack. Similarly to Transcendence, 35 damage to gods or minions. Gain 15 mana per stack. Gain a total of... So I'm guessing the stack amount for 50 is going to be the same. So you're going to be getting... what would that be? 50 stacks? So that would be like... Would that be 700 damage per stack if it's going to be 50 stacks? I think that's how it's going to be. So I actually like this a lot better. This, yeah, like it says, it allows for more options to build stacking items without having the last hit kill thing. So that's actually, I actually like that a lot. There's a lot of these things that I'm seeing here is a lot of what is the word? I can't think of the word. Oh, quality of life. There's a lot of quality of life changes here that I do like. The stacking, the relics, I think, is a nice quality of life. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's actually really nice. I like that. Great change. A little bit changes here. This is Warlock Staff. Decreased magical power by 10. Decreased base health. You total 25 power. Okay, I was changing that a little bit, which is fine. Nothing crazy there. Warlock Staff has been in a weird spot. Okay, revived items. Void Shield. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's fucking go. My friend Mike and I were talking about this, and we heard it first from Fine OK, and I think it's actually one of the big things that I think needs change with Warriors if they're going to be a lot better in competition with a lot of the other gods. As a lot of Warriors are in a tough spot. They're being played a little bit more now just because of the nerfs to mages. That's literally all it is. Not anything that makes tanks, Warriors specifically, that much better. I think they should have more impact on the map. I think they should have more impact on team fights. And I think they had that more when they had options for actual hybrid items. And I don't think this is going to be an actual hybrid item. Because if you don't remember, if you guys do remember, don't. Void Shield had a little bit of power. Wasn't a lot of power, but that's what made it a hybrid item. Making it have a little bit of protections and a little bit of damage. To where you are actually a hybrid item, or a hybrid god. Tanks have no power because there's no hybrid items in the game. They have to base it off of the passives that each item gives. So this is better, but I'd like to see a little bit more of the hybrid items come back. So this is a good step in the right direction. I think Void Shield is a really good item for hybrid. 55 prots, HP 5 health, and then the aura, which is specifically what makes Void Shield really good, is enemy gods within 55 units have their physical protection reduced by 10%. I think it was a little bit more before, but that's still a lot. 10% is a lot. So you're going to be doing more damage to those gods whenever you're near them, and you're a warrior, so you're always going to be near them, which means any physical protections that they have, you basically have 10%. Basically have 10% pen. Revive. I never heard Void Domaru. Void Domaru. Upgrade some Spellbound Kusari. Oh, okay. So this is going to be a fourth item in that tree. Wait, that also means you can build it on... Okay, so these items you can build on... Because Void Shield used to be an item that you can only build on warriors. Physical gods, I mean. Sorry. So you're going to be able to build this on everyone. That's actually kind of cool. Okay, so Guardians are going to be a little bit in there in that mix too. This might be interesting. New items coming in might have a lot more impact on, you know, what you want to buy. Might be a pretty good item to go now. Void Tomorrow. This is going to be really good for warriors, especially in Joust. Void Shield on warriors are going to be really good, as you're going to be doing more damage to them now with its passive. And you can also do that with this item now too, because this enemy gods in the video have their magical protections reduced by 10%. So if they have, it won't make it to where like warriors are going to be like really good, but you have a lot more options now to do more damage. I think these items are going to be staples on warriors that you're going to probably need to go if you want to do more damage to those backline gods, and also do more damage to tanks as well. Glad Shield's still pretty good, but with Void Shield being here, this might be an added item too. You might go Glad Shield and Void Shield if you're going up against, like, for Joust at least, if you're going up against like a hunter, assassin, and a guardian, for example. Void Shield was going to be really good, especially against a hunter and an assassin, or even like a hunter warrior and a mage, or, you know, other type of variations where assassins are going to be in there too, or even hunters. I think that's going to be really good. Or if you want more magical protection, let's say they have a guardian mage and a hunter. Well, Void Domaru is going to be really good there for your hunter, I think, too, and even for your guardians. as you'll be able to do more damage as well. So these items are going to be really good, I think. 35 MP5? Jesus! This item is a lot better, I think, than this. It's 100 cheaper, same passive, crowd control reduction, MP5, which you absolutely need in Joust, health, and 60 magical procs. This is going to be a better item, I think. If you're a warrior and you're ever going up against a mage guardian hunter or a mage guardian assassin, I think this is going to be a really good item for you. Or even a void shield, for example. And up next we have Blackthorn Hammer. Oh, let's go. I love this item. I love its power. Is this it? Oh, only 3 items. Still, I'll take it. Blackthorn Hammer, I don't know why the fuck they got rid of it. This was a really good item. Its passive is so good. It gave you health, mana, and power. It was like that hybrid item that gave you power too. Being, you know, that hybrid part of it being the health and mana. But its passive giving you 25% mana when you or while over 25% mana you get 10% cooldown, and while under 25% mana you get 50 HP or MP5. If you guys don't know, in Joust, Blackthorn Hammer was the go-to item to build on like almost any warrior, assassin, not really hunters, but I think this item's gonna be seeing a lot of resurgence for warriors. I think you're gonna build this item. I think warriors are gonna be a lot better now. I think warriors with Void Shield and then Void Dumaru, whatever, Void D, and Blackthorn Hammer being an item that you're probably gonna be building right off the bat for your assassins and your warriors. I think this item's gonna be seeing a lot of resurgence. Blackthorn Hammer, like I said, plagued the meta when this was an item for a while, I think, until they nerfed it, and then other items came in, but this item was busted. I'm glad this item's back. I love this fucking item, as good as it is. Yeah, I think you're gonna be building this on a lot of your assassins and your warriors for the foreseeable future, but we'll have to see about that. I mean, this item helps you, you know, this item gives you mana and health, physical power, and then MP5. This item basically fixes your MP5 for the entire game. You don't need to go for physicals, at least. You don't need to go into that tier 1 area anymore. You can just go straight into Blackthorn Hammer and get your MP5. With the gold spooling in Joust being so high, you're gonna get this item really quickly. It's a pretty cheap item, $35.50, $23.50. What the fuck? Yeah, I think this item, you know, I think a lot of the time before you would go straight into Blackthorn Hammer. I think, you know, on gods like Fenrir, Neja, what's another good assassin? Even Bastet, this item is going to be really good on. Camazotz is going to be really good with this item as well. I think you can probably go straight into, you know, either Warriors Axe or Bluestone, whichever is good at the time, with Camazotz, and then go straight into a Blackthorn Hammer Gauntlet, and then you can go, you know, rest damage. Or, you know, with it being so making you a little bit more tanky, you may be able to skip Gauntlet. I don't think that's gonna be greatest, but I think going Warrior's Axe, Blackthorn Hammer, Gauntlet, just so you can have that early bit of pressure with your MP5 with Blackthorn Hammer, you can forego Gauntlet first and then build that second item, and then go into, you know, your fucking your Jotuns, your I can't fucking think. Why can't I think of items? Brawler's Beat Stick, Hydra's Lament, Serrated, and Heartseeker. So I think a really good item for a build just for Camazotz, for example, would be currently Warrior's Axe, Blackthorn, Gauntlet of Thebes, going into Jotuns, Serrated Edge, and then Heartseeker. And now you can, you know, interchange Serrated with Beat Stick if they have a lot of healing, because lifesteal's back. And then, you know, I think Heartseeker is too good of an item for not to have that. But, you know, shit like that, it's gonna be really, I think this item's busted. That's basically all I have to say. Glyphs, we're doing glyphs. New glyph, interesting. Players may now purchase any number of glyphs. Oh shit. Okay, well, that's an interesting change. You can build Relic Dagger and Pridwin. You can go both. That's actually really busted for tanks. as I think a lot of the glyphs are the main glyphs that are really good are for your tanks. And I think about all the glyphs, because Jotuns isn't that great of a glyph. Relic daggers are pretty good glyph. That's for tanks. Rod of Tahuti, there isn't really a lot of magical glyphs if I can remember. That's actually busted. I don't know how I feel about this. We've been looking for ways to allow players to spend their late game gold, and uncapping glyphs is a great option. I guess that's another thing you can do for Joust now too. You can buy items with specific glyphs and upgrade it. It's gonna make you do a lot more shit too. I don't know how long they're gonna keep this up. Maybe they're just gonna keep this up forever, but this is kind of disgusting. I think I remember specifically why they got rid of glyphs to begin with, is because it was so busted. But I guess maybe they turned a new leaf. We'll see. We shall see. Oh, they got a new glyph, Devoted Deathbringer. Let's see. Your critical strike chance is multiplied by 1.3. Okay. That's actually kind of crazy. For each 5% critical strike chance, you gain over 100% critical strike chance. Wait, for each 5% critical strike chance, you go over 100% critical. Oh my god, you gain 10 physical power. Okay, so this is just like fucking. This is just like what's the item called? Silver Branch. This is like a critical strike chance item for Silver Branch. That's actually pretty cool. They're getting rid of Envenom, Deathbringer, and Executioner. Oh, okay. Okay, so there's no anti-heal anymore with Envenom and then Heavy Exy. Interesting. I will say that Heavy Executioner was an item or a glyph that wasn't really played all that much. Envenom Deathbringer is really good. I don't know if we should get rid of that. At the same time, that anti-heal was only for a crit, and I feel like it should be more accessible. Let's see. Your strike chances that. This clip does not interact with Jingwei, as it is her autos that have enhanced critical strike, not her character. Okay. Envenomed Executioner. Oh! As I was saying, successfully hitting enemies with, successfully hitting an enemy god with will afflict them with poison. This poison reduces their healing by 40%. Okay. This is actually really good. Heavy Executioner would cap your attack speed, but you would get like a bunch of damage, like I think 35% more damage or something like that. Maybe it was Protection Shred. I don't know, something similar to that. But this is a lot better. Toxic Blade, I get a lot of questions saying that, you know, there's not a lot of items for anti-heal for hunters, and you know, Toxic Blade just isn't that good of an item to sacrifice another item for hunters, because there's so many good hunter items that you kind of can't sacrifice anything there to do what a hunter does best, which is shred, kill, and do DPS. With this now, you do have anti-heal. You have really good anti-heal. And shields. Oh, this is a really good item. This is a really good change for glyphs. Actually insane. You can go fucking Envenomed Executioner and Devoted Deathbringer. That's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of shift in the meta. But this is an absolutely great change. I love this change. Making it more accessible for anti-heal for hunters. Absolutely. So there's going to be some... Oh my god, there's a lot of items left. Holy shit. Okay, we're almost done, but there's a lot here. We're going to speed through these. So, general item bounce, Mannequin Scepter. Remove physical protection, added 7% attack speed. Oh, nice. This is actually good for auto attack gods, or, you know, gods that go like Soul, for example. I love Mannequin Scepter on Soul, but it just didn't give attack speed, or, you know, it's just not that great. This is going to make it to where auto attack gods are going to be able to build this more often, even like junglers or assassins. Mannequin Hidden Blade, remove damage reduction, added 15% attack speed, decrease slow duration from 5 seconds to 3, increase slow. Okay, so they're increasing the slow but reducing the duration it's on, and they're adding attack speed. So it's going to make it less, you're going to be a little less tankier, but you're going to be able to apply that slow, and you're just going to have more attack speed, so that's pretty cool. Mannequin's Mace, increased attack speed from 15% to 20. Makes sense. They're just trying to make this into more of an auto attack based item that it should have been to begin with. Eye of the Jungle, removed attack speed. Ooh, added 7 physical protections. I don't know if we need protections on it, but okay. Protector of the Jungle, removed attack speed. I think Protector of the Jungle was the best. It gave you everything you needed: attack speed, protections, and it's passive. That's disgusting. So definitely don't mind having that removed because it's such a busted item. Decrease physical protection from 35 to 25. Oh, okay. They're just adding magical protections. Well, I guess it's some sort of counterbalance. I think this item's still busted, but now you're just tankier for every god source. A little less tanky for physical, but I mean, you get more magical protections. So I think this makes it a little less good because the attack speed make it more tankier for some reason. I don't know why. For a jungle item, weird. Spartan flag. Remove both powers, added 35 of both protections. Yeah, the power thing was weird. I think it should have just been protections. Increase passive attack speed from 10% to 15%, which is nice. The Spartan flag has been, or the flag tree for the starters have been really good in this meta recently. Dawnbringer, this item sucks. I think it has like a niche play, but I don't think it's that good. Or maybe I'm undervaluing it, who knows. Increase physical power from 30 to 40, so whole 10 power, which is pretty decent. But decrease the health, so... I mean, when you bring back the old hammer, I don't know why you would ever build Dawnbringer. So weird, I guess. You're upgrading the power, but you're also decreasing health. I don't think you should be doing that, but you know. But yeah, with Blackthorn Hammer being a thing now, I don't really think you would ever pick up Dawnbringer, and especially when they make it less tankier. I mean, you get more power, but I don't know. We'll see though. Runeforge Hammer plus his glyphs. That's gonna be crazy. You're gonna have Runeforge Hammer, Relic, Dagger, potential Pridwin Breastplate. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be going on. I think tanks are gonna have more value out of that more, because if you think about it now that I'm thinking about an item, Amulet of the Stronghold going into that, giving more physical protections, plus getting like a Pridwin glyph. We'll see. They're getting increased physical power. Ooh, 10. I don't know how I feel about this. We're up in the power. We're making it to where we're creeping up the fucking power creep. Decreased health. They're just making it a little less tankier, I think, with the health. Frostbound getting 10 more power. That's a lot of power. I don't know. Decreased passive cooldown from 8 seconds. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, Frostbound Hammer is basically only on items, on gods that you can really proc that, like Amma, for example. But 10 power is a lot. I don't know how I feel about that. Man, this is one thing that they had issues with, which was balancing all of the hammers. They had struggles with that. And so I think bringing them back is cool, but I think they're going to have struggle balancing it again. And it's going to be another issue, I think. Gem of Isolation, increased health. Decrease the passive from 8 to 5, similar to Frostbound, and decrease cost a little bit. Shadow Drinker. Increased stealth. This item was just so bad. Increased stealth and movement speed duration for an extra 2 seconds. I don't think that's going to be all that great. Just based off what it says, it's a lot better. But I think, I just don't think it's that great of an item. 2 seconds is a lot though, so we'll have to see about that. But small changes. Mystical Mail, increased physical. I mean, these are all items that had problems in the past. I don't really think need changes, honestly. They keep changing it, but I mean, you know, whatever. Increased damage per level from 1 to 1.5, so you're getting an extra 0.5 per level, which means you're going to be doing an extra 10 at level 20, so that's interesting. Decreased cost. Shogun's Kusari. Whoa! Oh man, I mean, there's so much CDR on every single item that, you know, removing the cooldown makes sense. Added 10% attack speed. Yeah, I actually agree with this. Removing a lot of the, because there's so much cooldown on every single item that it's just a bloated stat in my opinion. This Transcendence one's a little iffy. I don't know how I feel about that one. But they added pen on it now, so Transcendence now gives pen. Shogun's gives 10 plus its passive. Pythags now has increased power and a little bit more health, and then Power Potion has pen now instead of cooldown. All right. Interesting. Changes. Okay, so I agree with the cooldown. I think some of these changes are a little silly. I don't know why you need pen on potion of power. Just hit my knee. But I get them trying to counterbalance it. Like I said, cooldown has been a really bloated stat, so definitely need to tone that down a little bit. And then we're on to God balance. God passes are removed. Dodgy, horrible burns, increased damage scaling from 5%. Oh, I don't know, we should be buffing Dodgy. Increased slow from 10 to 30 to 15 to 35. Okay, we'll see how that goes. But I think Dodgy's already in a good place. Making her busted is going to be a little bit of a hot topic, I think. Because Dodgy already one-shots late game. Make her scale better off that early game to late game is going to be a little sus. Kleena tearing the veil. Oops, tearing the veil. Jesus. Decrease cooldown by 5 seconds. Not terrible. Tsukiyomi, we're increasing him or buffing him. Increased health heal from 4 to 1 per level to 6 to 15.5. Okay, increase mana heal from 2 to mana heal from 2 plus 15% to 3 plus 20%. I think Tsukiyomi was in a rough spot. He got a lot better with his 2. I think now he's in a good spot, but with this, I think this is going to push him to like a very, very solid assassin in my opinion. It's just a small thing, but still scales pretty well now. Ardio, life tap, heavy charge, decrease cooldown by 2. Okay, these are all small changes, but they seem to be targeting the ones that definitely need it. Kabrakan, decrease cooldown for seismic crush. Decrease cooldown from 18 to 14 to 16 to 14. Cooldowns on Kabrakan, I don't know if you'd be reducing them, but I mean, Kabrakan's already so fucking good, who cares? Kumba needs a fucking rework or something. Increasing damage on Kumba is the right way to go. When they nerfed the fuck out of his damage a while ago, it made it to where he just fell out of the meta. Increasing his damage is, I think, the thing that they need to do. That's only 5 base power, but still the right direction. Fafnir increased self-heal from 30.95 to 40 to 120. That's actually a lot. That is a lot, but not significant enough to where it would be that crazy. Raging Tides, also it's just self-heal. Decreased, this god definitely needed a buff. Decreased item damage reduction from 25% to 20%. That's her passive. Spike shot, increased splinter damage scaling from, this will definitely make her a lot better. It was in a rough spot. Every other hunter does what she does better. Clunky ult, stuff like that. So Neith, increased damage. We keep buffing Neith. We just keep buffing Neith to the point where she's going to be busted. Watch. World Weaver, that's her ult, increased damage from 230 to 490, plus 120% to 235 to 495. So just a little bit. Extra 5% and an extra 5 base power, not too much. E-set, Circle of Protection, reduced damage to fully charged from 800 to 4000 to 700 to 3500. Very good. E-set is not that great of a god. Her ult should be able to heal and get to full charge a lot quicker than it does, and I do like that. Next, the less 500 damage. God damn. Almost done. Tiamat, Summon Beast, shift. Oh my god, there's a lot here. Shifted slow from 80% for 1 second to 40% for 2 seconds. Shifted slow from 80 for 1 second to 40 for 2 seconds. I think that's fine. That fucking ult with the fucking slow was incredible. For 80%, I mean, it made you go nowhere, so I'm fine with this. It's gonna make it to where her damage isn't as consistent after summoning that beast. Increased execute threshold from 30 to 50 to 50% in all ranks. Okay, I didn't even know that had a threshold based on rank, so that's actually good for her. Decreased cooldown for her grounding dive from 22 to 14 to 20 to 14. Okay, so early game is gonna be a lot better for her. She's gonna have her 3 up a lot more. And then rising flight, decreased cooldown, so very similar to the one before. You're gonna be able to transform a lot easier. Merlin, decreased cooldown on elemental mastery. I think that's his ult. From that to that, so early game very similar to Tiamat. I think a lot of these things are making early game a lot better. Trying to, like I said earlier, make game modes not last as long. at least for Conquest. Guan Yu, Conviction, increased mana cost from 60, or decrease from 60 to 45. Oof, that man has no cooldowns to begin with, making it to where he can have infinite cooldowns and all the mana to do that with as well. We'll see. Vamana, Sleeping Giant, increased attack speed conversion from 10% to 15%. Okay. We're buffing Vom. Increase base duration from 4 to 5 seconds, increase max duration. Okay, so just 1 second, not too much, but very scary. Yeah, all these are very small changes that they've been doing recently, the past season 10. Cyrus Judgment, Tether, increase attack speed debuff from 20% at all ranks to, oh, it's getting scaling increase. We're buffing Osiris again. If you guys don't know, Osiris has been buffed over and over and over and over and over and over again. Lord of the Afterlife, decreased cooldown from 75 to 70 seconds. Okay. I don't know why we did that. Why are we doing that? That's insane. If you're not playing Osiris already, I think Osiris is going to be one of the better warriors to play. As you see in Worlds a lot, actually, if you've been paying attention to that. Osiris popped up every single game. Path to Valhalla. Decreased stacks from 5 to 4, increased movement speed per stack from... So a lot of warriors are actually getting buffed here too, which is what I like to see. Beforehand, a lot of the warriors that were getting buffed were only a couple of them. And where I think now a lot of these warriors are getting buffed is really good too. Increased power per stack. So yeah, definitely being able to do more damage, have more movement speed, stuff like that. That's good. And last but not least, we are happy to see players have success when going whale mode, but Valkyrie's Jiro has been making a few too many waves. So, Curse of the Ghost Whale, decreased protection conversion from 30% to 25%. So that is his passive, I believe. So that means that he won't be doing as much, I think, damage per auto. So he doesn't hit unless in later stage of the game. Yeah, because he scales really hard at the end when he gets his items online. So definitely toning that down is going to be really good for him. But that is it. If you've watched the entire thing, you're a legend. I don't expect most of you to. Lot of things, lot of changes. Item changes were pretty decent. I like the cooldown changes. A little silly here with the push of power, but you know, I dig it. I'm gonna have to try to remember these. That Transcendence doesn't give cooldown anymore, it gives pen. And then Pythags gives a little bit more damage. Power Pot doesn't give cooldown anymore, it gives pen. So cooldown items are going to be a lot more important, I think. And then Shoguns only gives attack speed now, so no more cooldown on that. Items were pretty good. New glyphs, you can now have full glyphs. That's pretty interesting. New glyphs for crit and anti-heal for hunters. New items, going to make warriors and a lot of gods picking up Blackthorn Hammer, I think, more now. So warriors and hybrid gods are going to be picking these up more. Yeah, 55 units and physical protection is reduced. That's going to be really good for your warriors to do more damage. Stacking items going to make it to where now people can fucking stack based on damage done, which is going to be really good. And it does stack on minions too, so that's going to be really good. No more fucking stealing. I'm building stacks. That's going to be interesting. Lifesteal, getting an increase, making it to where minions are not as good to lifesteal off of. Lifesteal items like Rejuvenating Heart and this other item for hunters. Crimson Claw is going to be really ridiculous, I think. It's going to make a lot of hunters really fucking good and a lot of lifesteal gods fucking crazy. Wards, combining a lot of relics here, adding some new cool mechanics to that as well, to where it, you know, it requires you can what is it called? It's similar to Relic Quest. That's what it's called, Relic Quest. So try to upgrade that. New passive shards, pretty cool, similar to recipes. Little sus on it, but dual changes, ranked being reset, a lot of shit here. So let's see, Fire Giant, Joust getting a new changing back to the map. That's one of the biggest highlights in my opinion for me. And then obviously Conquest changes that we're not going to go over again because that's a lot of shit. And then Smite 2, and that's all of it. This is gonna be a super long video, so hopefully you can probably skip through it and whatnot. I'll probably put like timestamps or whatever. So, but that's it. Year 11, Smite 2, Joust Changes, and then future uploads and video content for this channel. So have everything there. Again, 11.1 at the beginning of the year is going to be a lot of shit. So there's not going to be a lot of videos that are going to be this long going over, you know, updates and shit. But this is a specific one I wanted to go over. So that's it. You have any questions, concerns, leave in the comment section down below. Tell me how you guys think about this. Smite 2, new changes that are coming this year, anything. So you can leave that in the comment section down below. Like, comment, subscribe. But I think that is all I have for you. So with that being said, long ass video. Thank you guys for watching.